All right, welcome back, guys. It's been a while. Things have been kind of all over the place, but we're back and we're going to be consistent now.
Curator'S couch. Everyone.
I never thought I'd be that guy. Hit that like, hit that subscribe.
Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, make sure you share with friends, family.
Yeah.
Show my guys some love.
Before we start, I have a very quick message to all the fellow Arabs out there. I've been debating for a long time whether it's appropriate at all to be posting stuff like this with what's going on with our Palestinian brothers and sisters, but after a lot of thinking, honestly, I think it's does more good than harm to amplify more Arab voices and have more people be heard from our region, because ultimately we're all sharing, we're all posting, and the more we help each other out, the more awareness we can spread. So also below I've attached some educational resources, some charities, just different ways for you to help out in whatever way you can. So be sure to check those out. And without further ado, we have another very, very special guest here today. He's family. He's one of our childhood friends. And I shouldn't leak the government, huh? No. We've got Bayou in the building. So how are you doing, my man? Thank you for taking the time to be here.
Thank you, bro.
Really appreciate it, bro. And it's been a while, man.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
It's been a minute, yeah.
How's everything with you?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, being a regular guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Not
nice.
that regular, bro. You're doing some admirable stuff out here.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
I love it. So how long you been doing music, bro?
So it's been a while. Music's always been a part of my life, like big and small. Like whether it be just being a kid watching Disney Channel,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like I think back in second grade, like that's when I started. Like my interest in music started, but it's always been there. I was always been songwriting. I've always been like in love with music throughout my life. But I think it was like 2017 that I put out my first song. But I was always like recording stuff on my headphones and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
What was the first song?
The first song that I put out like for everyone to hear was a song called like 2020 in a Bentley.
We're gonna have to run that back
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
audio.
yeah.
I'm down. But so when you first started to make music, how did you kind of like get into all these different? How did you start learning to use all these platforms? Did you start making your
Yeah.
own beats, like mixing all this kind of stuff?
No, honestly, it was like just push and play and see what happens. Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, every Mac comes with GarageBand, and so naturally I was like, okay, let me try out. So first I used to like get loops off this website called like Looperman, and then just use them. And then after
Yeah.
that, like the GarageBand loops, and try and use the GarageBand loops. And then after that, I was like, oh, there's YouTube, there's beats on YouTube. And then like, yeah, then just like evolved from there. And then I was like, okay, now I know production, like I know I can get my beats from here. Then I learned my vocals. Just over time, like it just progressed.
nice. And like, this is something I've always wondered, especially about you, because like watching your progression, how do you kind of like train your voice or like get better at doing vocals?
Yeah.
How does that work?
I mean, it's like any muscle in your body, to be honest. Like during quarantine, at least specifically, I mean, my voice over time got better. Just the more that you sing, the more that you mess around with your voice, the more that your voice will be in tune with key and like with all these different like musical elements.
Yeah.
But like if you actually just take like some basic singing courses or warm up properly, like actually everyone has the ability to sing. Everyone has their specific key or notes that they can hit. Not everyone can sing like The Weeknd, but like
Yeah.
not everyone can sing as deep as like Giveon or something.
Yeah.
But like everyone has their specific voice and their specific key. Like that you have your singing voice, and so like it took me a while to find it. Like first I started by like mimicking other artists and
Mm.
whatever, but then like eventually you find like, oh, this is what sounds good. This is what like suits
You
my
figure out
voice.
what works, what doesn't,
Yeah.
kind of, right?
And then eventually you also improve and be able to stretch your voice and do more.
So
with it.
did you like take online lessons?
Yeah,
Did you
just
meet
there was
with
just like some like like some ad popped up like 30-day singers, like if you like it or not, you can give your money back guarantee or whatever. And I did it. It was actually freaking sick. So like it was pretty good. Like we went into runs and like how to like do all these different things and breath control and whatever. But I like did it like consistently for like a week, and then I was like, okay, I get the gist of this. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah. That's dope. That's dope. So talk to me about like your creative process. So like when you first get an idea for a song to actually releasing it, what are the steps you have to go through? Do you kind of think of song ideas first, or do you hear the beat first and go from there? Or how does it work with you specifically?
Yeah, I mean it depends. Sometimes like I hear a beat or we make a beat, like me and my friend Josh,
Mm.
or whichever producer I'm working with, and I'm like, oh, this is sick, and then I have like this idea. Sometimes I write the song, and then like I was like, oh, this perfectly fits on this. Sometimes I just have a melody in my head, sort of like singing it onto my voice memos. I could be on the toilet even, just,
Yeah.
and it could just come to me. And then so yeah, like it really depends. It really depends. Like there's no like set process as to how it will come up.
Yeah.
And I think it's always fun to always like to get ideas from anything and everywhere.
What's your favorite song that you made?
So far, like I'm proud of like the Arabic like influence songs that I made so far, because I feel like those are for me like perhaps the most like unique songs that I
Yeah.
made, or the most authentic songs that I made. But I wouldn't say like they're like my favorite. There's all these different songs that I have. Like I could go back to songs that aren't particularly as good as the ones that I've made recently, and I was like, the feeling and the emotion is there, and
Yeah.
it takes me back to that certain time. It would even be
Yeah.
last semester or something, and like I get so nostalgic when I hear that stuff.
But more so like forget like what people think is the best one or whatever. Like for you personally, which one you enjoyed making the most, or like
No, like enjoy like
you
every song that like I put out, like I always had to feel like oh my god, this is a smasher. Like
Yeah.
for me
Yeah.
to even like consider putting it out, like I'll have to like it like 2 months later for me to even think
Yeah.
about it. Like it's not like 2 days later, because sometimes you make a song, you're like, this is like god shit. Next day you listen to it and you're like, this is dog shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
like it's like it depends. It really depends.
Yeah.
I'm proud of like all the works that I put out. Some of them like I feel like they've lasted longer, and I feel like still proud of them.
Mm.
Like particularly like I like King of Cairo a lot.
Mm.
Like I like Moonlight, of course. Like that's my best performing one.
Yeah.
Casablanca. I like Daydream.
Daydream.
Muse is fun. Like
Yeah.
I think those are all like some good songs. Like I've had them for a while, and I still think like I see like the quality in them. You know
No.
what I mean?
Yeah. For sure.
So yeah.
Daydream is my favorite. Still. It's still my favorite. But so working with other people, other producers, artists, how are you in that process? Like, have you ever come across like creative differences sometimes?
No, always. Yeah.
And how do you deal with those? Like,
It's great like working with other people. Like I'm very picky with who I work with. I don't want to just work with anyone. And
as you should be.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's because but I still like to have like when I work with producers, it's almost like working with a contractor or something.
Mm.
I tell them like exactly what I want.
Yeah.
I want you to use this material as if I want you to use this sound.
Yeah.
I'm very like step by step in the process, kind of leading them in what I really want. And sometimes they just have the sound, they have it ready for me. But a lot of the times, like I find the sample that I want, I find whatever, and I tell you chop it up like this or stuff like that. So, or I'm going for this vibe,
Yeah.
and producers like that when you have like that kind of like vision behind it, because sometimes they could end up just making stuff for you all day and you not like it.
Yeah. True.
So yeah, so I enjoy like I've been working with this one guy in the UK. His name is T Morgan. He's like with Timbaland. He works with him.
Nice.
And
How did
then-
you guys connect?
I just DM'd him.
Oh, okay. Crazy.
And then the guy, the guy who made Daydream is brought by Eros. He's sick. Like
Yeah.
he works-
I've checked out his shit.
yeah,
It's
he
dope.
works with like Forever Friday and
Yeah.
Lil Baby.
He has
and
a
that
song
one
with
song,
Lil
yeah.
Baby. That's
And then,
crazy.
Josh is just like my my guy, like he's
Yeah.
my brother, and like we have so much sick stuff we made, like even right before he left, recently. So I'll show you, definitely have to.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. You ever been sent some whack beats or what?
Yeah, I get sent beats all the time, and then like if I don't like them, like there was even one guy who was like credited with like crazy stuff like Rod Wave and stuff like that, and it's just
Okay.
not for me.
Yeah.
I will be honest with them and tell them like, yeah, this is good, this is quality, but like it's not for me.
Not your sound.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah, nice. And you've dabbled in producing yourself, right?
Yeah, it's always fun like to mess around sometimes, like especially like after I spend a lot of time with Josh, like he teaches me stuff like just by observing him, because the
Yeah.
guy's like crazy. And then like after that, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can mess around with the things, and like learn a bit more music theory and things like that in order to like be able to make something that flows.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm gonna shift just for a little bit to the football.
Yeah,
So being on like a team, and obviously I'm sure your teammates know you make music, and maybe your coaches do, maybe they don't.
Yeah.
They do.
I mean, I was playing, but I stopped now.
Oh, you stopped.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not playing in college anymore.
No.
Shit, I had no idea, bro.
Yeah, no, I was playing. I went like when I went last semester, I was playing, and then it just started to impact my grades a bit, and just like
Yeah.
just like my like I don't know, like the passion wasn't really there as much, not because of music or anything like that, just because of like my injury. I was still doing rehab like 14 months in, like it just like it was not getting any better, and like the intensity and everything like
Kept going up.
it kept going up, and I guess like the amount of hours like needed like spent throughout the day as a Division 1 athlete is a lot. Like you wake up at 6, 7, you have like a Zoom meeting, like video analysis, and then you head to training. It's like negative 15 degrees.
Yeah.
You train for 2 hours. You finish training. You get on the train back, and while you're on the train, you're watching your lecture because you don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
And then you have like what's it called, classes till 6, and then you have expected to study after that. So it just it was a bit challenging for me, and I mean I would have loved to continue. Like I miss playing football so much, and I miss like those days. Of course,
Yeah.
like I'm still like so in love with football, but it just like physically I can't really do it as I used to.
Yeah. That's rough to hear, bro. But what's meant to be will be,
Yeah, of course.
So working with people to make like your cover art and your album covers and all of that, how do you go about it? Are there certain like designers that you just reach out to, or people reach out to you, or how do you go about that process?
It's mostly me reaching out to people, and seeing what they'd like to, if they like to work with me. I used to like. It really depends. Like sometimes there were like first covers I made like for Moonlight, The Call, like Alone. Those were like, it's just a guy from my dorm back at boarding school, and then after that, like I worked with a lot of local artists. I work now like a lot of times with Maya Alawi, and she's really really good, mashallah. And like she's sick. She also does animations. And,
Yeah, shout out Maya.
Yeah.
She does some really cool shit. You should check it out. It's
Yeah.
gonna be on the screen somewhere right now.
Yeah.
So you kind of went so far with just like just releasing the singles so far, no albums. I know that before when you started out,
There's just straight albums.
there was straight albums there, but then you kind of like, I guess you rethought it, right?
Yeah.
The strategy and like the long term to like debut album and all that kind of stuff. So what's the thinking behind going with just the singles, and like are you trying to think very very long term? And I don't know, I guess like tell me a little bit more about when you think you'd be ready for an album, or when are you gonna keep doing the singles and stuff?
Yeah, so the thought process behind the singles was just like to build like slowly but surely, like, and like to make sure that whatever song was put out is really emphasized. And so like that was the main reason why, like, to have that song emphasized. And if people liked it, they liked it. People didn't like it, they didn't like it. And then I just like didn't want any like filler songs, you know what I mean? And also I just like I had like different ideas for albums over time, and like different sounds that I wanted to like like different themes that I wanted to try and things like that. And I thought like I was gonna like there would be times that like I was like trying to create a whole story and stuff like that, like in terms of like this song's gonna follow this song and then that song and then there's gonna be a project. But then like my taste would change by the time like it's time to drop something. So I think now I'm like more familiar with what I like and like what I don't like, and like I also like it's just expensive to make music.
Yeah.
Like mixing and mastering and like stuff like that is not like cheap, and like in order to produce, it's just challenging. Like 5 songs or even like 4,
Yeah.
that's like a lot of money, and like alhamdulillah, like I'm starting to get a bit of like a decent listening base right now. But like even with that, like I'd be able to do something now, and like maybe hopefully I could do something in the near future. But like it was just in time also to just make my music self-funded, I guess.
Yeah.
Let it pay for itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a lot of it, to be honest, because as an independent artist, like everything comes from yourself, and just marketing and all that stuff. Like you need that money.
With the singles as well, I think you kind of briefly mentioned it. You figure out like what sounds people fuck with and which ones like less so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely the right way to go about like starting up and building like a core fan base and going from there. But so the mixing and mastering you send to somebody to do, or that's what you mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like a website or?
Yeah, there's like different websites that you can use, like the equivalent of Upwork, but for like music.
Okay.
And then like it's called Sound Better. It's like made by Spotify for artists, and like like you could work with like Grammy nominated people. Like, they're sick engineers and producers and even songwriters and singers.
That's dope.
But yeah, so like it's a sick website. Like I worked with a lot of cool like engineers and stuff, and I think it's honestly a lot better than like spending time in the studio, because like you could spend like I don't know, I don't like being rushed in the process.
Yeah.
And the guy can do like 7 drafts or whatever if I don't like something. But nowadays like I've like made a good partnership with my engineer, and like
nice.
He's sick. His name is John Santana, and like he knows exactly what I want, like, which is nice.
Yeah, that's dope. So any new release? I know you just released last week, but any new releases coming soon?
Yeah, I mean, I've been working on a lot of stuff. Honestly, I would love to do more this summer. I would love to like put out even like 4 or 5 more this summer if I can, because like that's really what I have. A lot of summer songs and stuff that I feel like people would relate to. But I'm just like I've gotten all the production down. Like now it's a matter of like trying to deliver on the songwriting side and just making sure that like it really slaps.
Any features in the works? Or
I mean, I've reached out to people but I've been trying to reach out to like the grade above me. Kind of, you know what I mean, in terms of people and artists, and so naturally that's challenging, because I don't know, I feel like people have a bit of an ego, but not like in a like I mean I understand, like, you know what I mean, like why, like I'm looking up, like why would they want to look down? They want to look up too. So I mean naturally that I have like, I mean I love working with Vinik, like from Daydream. He's sick. He's a sick artist, and Sana, like she's awesome as well.
Yeah, she was in ASD as well.
She was in ASD, so yeah, it really depends. But whoever, like if I find someone that it doesn't matter if they're top or if they're below me, it doesn't really, like in terms of numbers. If they're talented, then they're talented, and like I'll work with them no matter what. So yeah, like always down to work with like talented people.
For sure. So obviously, like being a creative, it's, I mean, I don't know, but it's probably not just music that you're very, very passionate about. I know you guys used to have Finesse, but you changed the name, right? Yeah,
I've been trying to work on it, but like it's just been like some like manufacturing complications so far. But like the idea behind the next thing is definitely a lot more elaborate and like also a lot more impactful.
It's been a while though as well. Like you guys,
I've been trying for it. Like a lot of things happened. Like it just didn't really. It's like I'm still working on it. I don't want to say like, oh, this is this and that. Like, and it's not done yet. So, but like I'm excited. Like, and I know me and my friends are really like trying to make it happen, because like we believe in like the idea behind it and what I think it could stand for.
Yeah, that's dope. So obviously, besides music and fashion, do you think you could see yourself like going into any other like
Yeah.
creative mediums? What
I
do
mean, um, of course, like a student at the end of the day, and like,
yeah,
I go to university. I go to Boston University, and like passionate about, of course, like entrepreneurship in general. Like forget about being creative, just entrepreneurship, and like to try and innovate in like different fields would be awesome. Like to try and bring new technologies to even football or to the entertainment industry or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I think that's what I would like to do eventually. Whether I make it as an artist or not, or whether I do whatever. Like I think that's probably where I'm gonna put my money on and my like
yeah.
life on until like I see the streams above like 1 million a month or something. But like yeah, like I think something in those kind of fields that I think I would definitely be interested in. I'm like a huge fan of like just marketing in general. I think it's sick.
Yeah.
I think it's sick. And
Are you studying business?
yeah,
Okay, dope.
and I think
Yeah.
it's just awesome how like just learn about what people like to buy. And
Yeah, that's where my head
consume.
at's too, honestly. Like I wasn't too happy with studying business, but having learned all these things, I know I can apply it to whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yes, I think
And
that's why I love it.
and yeah, it's so flexible for you to do whatever you want with
Yeah.
it. And I don't know, I think personally, and obviously you too, just like you said, I'm gonna apply it to the things that I'm really passionate about: football, music, fashion,
Yeah.
all that kind of shit is like,
I mean, like definitely. I mean, for me,
and they're growing industries as well. Like especially nowadays, you know, I hate to say it, but like everyone has a podcast, everyone has their own like streetwear brand or
everyone
whatever.
sings. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so much. I think that kind of makes it better because there's so many people who do it just to say they do it,
Yeah.
whereas it kind of makes it harder in a way, but also easier to stand out in a crowd of like a bunch of phonies. You know what I mean?
I guess yeah.
It's I don't know, but
It depends. I mean, I think when it comes to like what we're speaking about, like, wait, sorry, you mind if I?
yeah, go
Also,
for
my
it.
bad.
No, it's good.
Who's calling me?
Go for it, bro.
Yo, Shorts. I'm in the middle of the podcast. What's up? What's up? No, tell me. I don't know. I feel like when I limit myself to one of these things, even if it was like just music on its own, even if music did so well, I would feel like it just like goes against my humanity.
Yeah,
I don't feel like just an artist or just a student or just whatever. I mean, if I could bridge all of them or do all of them at the same time, that's when I feel most alive. But like when I'm just playing football, like which is what was happening with you,
yeah.
it's just a bit like I don't know. I get like I feel like I don't feel good.
I get what you mean. Cause it's like not putting all your eggs in one basket, but like it just gets repetitive doing the same thing. Like I don't know, for what I relate to out of what you said is, I always like new things, like seeing new things, working around new things, trying new shit.
Yeah.
And when you get into like the football routine that you mentioned, for example, and it's like,
I mean, it depends really. It's not like that. Like I mean, of course, like if you want to be good at anything, you need to practice hard. You need to work hard at it. You can't just dabble in everything.
of course,
So like you don't say that like, but more like in the sense like, like when you're just studying all the time, like for example, as much as like that's great and like you're gonna like do well, like there's times where you have to do those things. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And especially if you're trying to like succeed in something, you're gonna have to prioritize and channel in on whatever you're doing in that time. You can't be thinking about this when you're doing that and that when you're doing this.
yeah.
But like I think like I feel like I don't know, like I wouldn't say it's my peak, but like one of my happiest times of my life was like I think it was 2019. That's when I had like I was playing with Du and then I was like trying to get scouted. At the same time I was coming home and then working hard on like school.
Yeah,
Got like a 3.7. Then after that like went and had like 3 pop-ups and then like I felt like so alive. I felt like so like just that it was such a good feeling and I'm trying to like get back to that and try and because I feel like that's like people like that like kind of Ubermensch, kind of like
Yeah,
everyman,
yeah.
like Elon Musk, like Kanye West, like
Exactly.
these people,
man.
like I feel like they're the Renaissance man,
Yeah, man.
and he can just do everything, but he can do everything great.
Yeah.
And I think that's like where I'm like at right now. Like, okay, there's a lot of things I like, but now it's just a matter of doing them great, not good.
Yeah. And you need to be careful as well from like burnout and stuff like that, bro.
No, these things shouldn't burn you out if you love them. Like, no, it becomes fun. You know what I mean?
No, of course, but you still need like time to yourself every now and then, because I can see what you mean when like you you want to like every hour of your day you want to dedicate to like doing one of the many things that you love, and once like you could get too much into that, like you need some time just to you know
Yeah, perhaps.
just be
But I feel like when you do these things, like let's say like you said, like okay, school, sports, whatever, fashion, music, right? I
Yeah.
feel like every one of them like gives like a different, like it like kind of targets a different side of your mind or a different
that's true, yeah.
side of like your like emotion or
Mm.
whatever. And so like each acts on each other. Like let's say like school was stressful, so you went and ran, and then like you played sports or whatever.
Yeah.
Now you're tired. Like okay, like uh, I'm gonna make some music, chill out. Then you're like, oh, this sick idea just came in my head. Like visual, let me think of whatever this like fashion, right? You know what I mean? So like, and then you go,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, okay, I'm feeling
Yeah.
a bit too creative. Let me go more like in terms of like quantitative stuff, school, back to it. You know, so it's
School.
like a cycle. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's where like you feel like super productive, and when you feel productive, you feel good about
Yeah.
yourself. I don't know. I personally, I've never like gotten like a lot of joy out of just like hanging out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's cool, like it's fun, like for like a couple, like like the some days you just want to be like a potato and just do
Exactly.
nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
But like when, like I don't know, and I've been trying to get out of this, but like after like before quarantine, I was like I couldn't walk because of my ACL,
Mm.
and then quarantine came, and then I was like that. So I was like a potato for like 7 months, bro, or
Yeah,
even
yeah.
longer, bro. And then like it just made me so lazy, and now I'm just like step by step trying to get out of that. Like it's just like really bad. Like
Yeah.
it fucked me up a bit. So like my goal is like try and like at least like go back to my old ways in terms of like doing all the things I like to do and like feeling exemplary. You know what I mean? I don't want to
Yeah.
just. It's annoying, kind of being just good.
Like content, or yeah, not feeling.
No, it's not just. It's like not just that. I mean, like you see like a lot of people doing better than you, or and like you wish them well, of course. Like good on everyone. I want everyone to succeed, but like like it's like like what you said. Like I want to do this, I want to do that, but you're just saying it just to say it.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
But you want to actually do well in these things.
yeah. Yeah.
Like you call yourself a smart kid, okay? Like do well in school.
Yeah.
You call yourself a good football player, okay? Score like every game. You know what I mean? Like it's you say all these things. You just like like you say I want to be a musician. Okay, get 100,000 monthly streams, something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you need like just hard like facts behind what you do and like statistics behind what you do to give it like some kind of reason in continuing it, or else it's just a hobby or just
Yeah, yeah.
something like that gives you joy.
Not gonna lie, you convinced me, honestly.
So yeah, like I don't know, like but it takes time, of course, with some of these things. Like when you're starting up something from scratch or whatever, like of course you're gonna start exactly from the bottom,
Yeah,
or you're
yeah.
shit at school, or you're shit at something, like, or you're just a beginner. You know what I mean? Like it's fine, like, but you just have to dedicate yourself to get that 1% better, or that whatever better, like, or that next kind of like mini target that you've set out for yourself. But like just having that end goal, which is like something, like I'm saying all of this because like. This was me before, like with football, I was delusional, bro. Like I was saying, oh, I want to play in Europe. I want this, that. But like you're not putting in hours in. You know what I mean? You're not like there's kids there in Europe, like absolutely killing themselves every day, like for the chance, like or like that's why they're in these academies. That's why like they're like, and I've been there. I've been to Lille. I've been to Malaga. Like I've played against like Sevilla, Atletico Madrid, all these teams, and seen them like firsthand, and like. These kids are different. They are like proper just football players. Like that's what they do. And then the same thing happens when you like go to these top institutions, like even just on a summer program or whatever. You could go to Stanford, you go to like I don't know, Brown, any Ivy League or anything like that,
Yeah.
and you see the kids and how dedicated they are, and you're like, okay, like you can't just like pick and choose, like I want to do this, I want to do that, and you know, cute or whatever, right? But like you have to actually like, because these kids and these whatever, they all put in the time and the work and the effort. They all have like a set plan and a regiment. You can't just be like, uh, I'm gonna just see what happens.
Yeah.
So
just go with the flow today.
that shit doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like actually, you have to go against the current, bro. You can't just say like I'm gonna do this or that, because then you're gonna feel one way this day and you're gonna feel another day that day, and like it just progress is just gonna be very very sporadic and like very fragmented.
Yeah. For real. Honestly, just hearing you talk like that, bro, I just know you're gonna be fucking great at whatever you do.
Ya Rab,
'Cause,
inshallah.
yeah, and knock on wood, but
Inshallah.
I could tell you have it in you and like you really want to.
I hope, bro. I think I have the mentality. I hope I have the ethic for it.
The ethic?
Work ethic.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like ethics.
No, I like the work ethic.
Yeah.
Because that's like that's the challenging part. Getting like, you know, all these things, like of course they register in your head. Like I'm just telling you this now and like it makes sense. It's like saying like eating vegetables is good for you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it is a matter of like, are you gonna do it?
It's a matter of discipline.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, yeah, you know, you need to put 10,000 hours into perfecting something, but
Are you gonna do it?
exactly.
Are you gonna procrastinate or what are you gonna do? So that's like really like where I stand right now in terms of like everything. I'm just trying to get to the next level in everything I do. Inshallah, and
Yeah.
like it can only come from hard work and from, you know, the hours spent and just exposing yourself to as much you can be exposed to, and stop saying no to a lot of things,
Yeah.
because I feel like I've limited myself a lot over the years and saying I'm just this or I'm just that,
Mm.
and it's ended up holding me back in a lot of different areas.
And would you? I know you said it wasn't the best time for you during COVID in terms of like exercise and the footy and all of that, but in terms of working on your craft and the music and
Yeah.
stuff, was it a good experience?
Definitely, like it was so much fun. Like that's like what kept me. That's what like I didn't even feel like I was like it didn't feel like alhamdulillah, you know, like I didn't really like the pandemic it was terrible like for a lot of people. A lot of people went through like
Yeah,
hardship,
of course.
but like music really like, bro, I was just like I even if like there was no pandemic, I didn't want to leave the house. Like
yeah,
I was just making stuff, like my like creative juices were just flowing, and there was like I was so inspired, like, and so much music was being dropped during that time. Like it was like after hours was Party Mobile, there was
yeah,
so much
bro.
music, and like,
Crazy amount
and
of
then like
music.
I was just so like inspired every second. Like I was so happy and like just being able to make music. I wouldn't sleep like until like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. just making stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was just so much fun, honestly. Like I enjoyed it a lot, and the weather was still good around that time. So
Yeah.
it was like, I mean, if you could just even step outside and breathe for a few
And
minutes.
you were here or
Yeah,
in
I was
Boston?
here, I was here.
Okay, sick. Yeah, same. I was here pretty much the entire
Yeah,
time.
so alhamdulillah, it wasn't. I mean, like yeah, we were limited to our houses, but like I think at the end of the day, I still made the most out of it. I think like I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much if it weren't for music. I know a lot of people like eventually got bored of like, you know, COD or like
Yeah.
or just like I don't know, whatever they were doing really. But like having that something where you still feel like you're productive, but like you're really actually just like sitting in your room.
Mm.
That was always like that's always something that I think the quarantine really amplified, like my passion for music.
Yeah. I think I would say most people I've talked to throughout doing this so far, them being creatives, everyone has kind of like benefited a lot from
Yeah, I'm sure you
COVID.
probably
Obviously not to-
started this like
Yeah, exactly. This is basically like a brainchild that it just came out of nowhere one night. I'm sitting in my room, bored as fuck, you know. But obviously, not to disregard like what anyone went through during COVID and
Yeah, of
that.
course,
Like
of course,
it was
yeah.
a terrible time. And
Yeah,
I know many people that were affected really badly.
definitely.
But just at least from what I've been hearing from everyone so far that I've spoken to, it's been like a positive experience for them creatively, and some of them for their mental health as well, me included. Like it's been a time of self-reflection, and I think it's helped me quite a bit. Like you said, you know, just sitting in your room thinking about whatever, doing whatever, and I don't know, kind of forces you to just sit with yourself and think about a lot of things. So it was positive for me in that sense. But on a lighter note than all of this, who would you say are some of your favorite artists, bro? Who are you?
Yeah.
Who can't you stop listening to at the moment, or all time greats, whatever?
I mean, definitely like I don't have like my taste in music is pretty broad in general.
Yeah, yes,
Um,
I can relate for sure.
yeah. Uh, I don't know. Like I like a lot of artists, I think, but the ones that like I kind of gravitate towards, like a lot of them are more like modern day, of course. But
Yeah,
I feel like, of course, like I feel like there's Frank Ocean. Of course, no one, everyone knows that. But like the Weeknd, these
yeah,
like guys, like you can't deny them. It's like saying I like Cristiano Ronaldo. And
yeah,
like of course you do.
yeah.
But I mean, I feel like recently I've really loved like how Saint John like carries himself
Okay,
and like how much of a character he is.
yeah, he's dope, bro. I
Uh,
saw him in Sahel.
Yeah,
He had
no,
a concert in Egypt.
yeah, I
in
remember. Yeah,
Sahel.
yeah. How many? When was that? Like 3 years ago?
Yeah, it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Four
I
maybe
remember when
even.
everyone was like, "Who the heck is Saint John?"
Yeah,
now like
no one
everyone,
knew him.
now
No one
he's
knew
like
him.
an absolute like worldie. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
Now he's like
He's Rockefeller and
yeah,
everything,
he's
bro.
a beast, bro. MashaAllah. But like yeah, I mean, so yeah, like Saint John, and then like I really like Ampharos and Coltrane.
Okay.
Like these guys are awesome. Like these like more like I wouldn't say they're low key because they have like 500,000 to a million monthly
Yeah,
listeners.
yeah.
But I love them. Like I'm
One
like
of my coworkers put me on to Anne Rose yesterday.
yeah, bro. Like I'm
She's
huge
dope.
stands. Like I'm a huge stand for them. I love their music. And then I mean Brent Fires of course is sick. Like but
Yeah.
like I've been listening to him for like 4 years
Yeah,
now.
yeah, me
So,
too, bro. He's dope. He's dope. I
yeah,
love him.
yeah. I liked a lot of his stuff. Um, what else is there, bro?
Outside of like the traditional rap R&B kind of category.
Yeah. Um, I mean, yeah. Like I love listening to Amr Diab.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I can get a lot of like nice like melodies and stuff from him because I feel like I'm like the English version of him
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, yeah.
But like so him and then like I like also like going back to the old music like Abdul Halim.
Mm.
And then I love like bossa nova like music. I love
Mm.
like what's his name? João Gilberto.
Yeah, Stan Getz.
Yeah, like these
all
guys
of
are
them.
awesome like
They're
as well.
dope.
So like I like to like hear like a lot of different music and like hearing all kinds of sounds. But like nowadays, like in terms of like a raw sound, like the way you'd say like bossa nova or classical music or whatever,
Mm.
I've been like a really big fan of like I like the Arabic classical, but like a lot of the Spanish classical guitar stuff is just it blows my mind how like the like the melodies that they play are they have so much story to them, so much like feeling to them,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like I feel like I could like someone could tell their whole life story and stuff like that, and I feel like it speaks so much just through a strum of guitar, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and just through the pick of a guitar. So I love that sound specifically. It's stuff that I'm trying to incorporate into my things like moving forward. Just that Mediterranean sound is just like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just as people like love the Mediterranean, people from the Mediterranean, people are just like, you feel your fullest when you're in Sahel,
Yeah.
when you're down by the coast there. Like, and I just like I want to try and recreate that feeling. It's just like the best feeling being down there.
So Song of the Summer coming out.
No, I wouldn't say that, but I want to like just make a feeling for summer in general, like and
Yeah.
just one that you can like take with you wherever you go.
Love that. Love that. Alright, bro. Well, خلاص, to wrap up. First of all, again, thanks so much
Thank
for
you,
taking
bro.
the
Thank
time,
you for
man.
having me.
Of course, bro. It's been a great convo. It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure, man.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
bro.
So yeah, to wrap up, I've got two very simple questions for you. What's your favorite concert that you've ever been to, and your top three songs in rotation right now?
All right, so my favorite concert definitely the Weeknd's concert. That was sick. Like just seeing him live and how he sounds like exactly like
In
him.
Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, dope.
That was
Dope.
fire. And then top 3 songs in rotation right now.
You could check your phone if you want to.
Yeah.
It's fine.
On top of my head, Drugs and Hella Melodies is sick by Kali Uchis and Don't Toliver.
Oh, okay, yeah. I
and-
can't stop listening to her new acoustic album.
yeah, that
dropped like a
that was amazing.
three-piece.
Yeah, the one
The
with
acoustic
the
one.
acoustic version of Telepatia is amazing.
Bro, her voice is unbelievable.
Yeah, that was
Unbelievable.
ridiculous. And then anything from the Lil Baby Lil Durk album is mad.
Yeah, that's a crazy album.
Like that shit in the gym is like I just don't even have to lay anything. I just leave the album on. And then Majid Jordan's Been Through That. They just dropped that.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's pretty good, bro. Like I really like that one a lot. But honestly, a lot of things I'm listening to these days. So yeah.
I respect the trap at the gym though.
Yeah, the
I
trap.
have to feel like I'm in a prison at the gym. I can
So-
just bang the trap.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I guess
thank you, bro.
appreciate
Cheers.
you, bro.
Guys, check out everything is gonna be linked. The Spotify, the Apple Music, his
Thank you.
playlists. Check out his newest song. Muse is out now.
Thank you guys.
Show some love to the boy. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace, peace. Dope. Dope.
I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Great, bro.